Thanks for joining in again for your movement practice. Make yourself comfortable, take off your shoes, and enjoy moving. Let's go. This is seated spinal sequence. We're targeting the spine moving in 3 different planes of motion. So all you'll need is something you can sit on. So a chair, a bench, the edge of your bed. And then what we're going to do is sit tall and place hands behind the head, just to open up the shoulders a little as well. So the first movement, we're going to work through flexion and extension of the spine. Following from that, we're going to work through side flexion and then rotation. So, sitting tall, focusing on the spine, begin your flexion and extension. Then let's move into side flexion. And finally, rotation. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. This is 4-point pelvic tilt, targeting the pelvis and the lumbar spine. To begin with, let's go to hands and knees. Nice balanced position. We're going to keep the neck and the shoulders still and take as much of your awareness to the pelvis as you can. And then we're going into posterior pelvic tilt and anterior pelvic tilt. So it helps to visualize the pelvis as a bucket of water. Imagine you're tipping water at the front of that bucket and then the back of that bucket. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. This is hip flexor plus side flexion. We're targeting the hip flexors as well as the side chain, the lats, the ribs, and the obliques. I'm going to use a broomstick for both some stability as well as to keep the movement honest in my plane of motion. So to set up, let's come into this split kneel position. The broomstick's going to be held on the same side as your front leg, and then there's 3 phases to the movement. The first thing I'm going to do is posteriorly tilt the pelvis. So imagine you're tipping water out the back of that pelvis. Then I'm going to bring the hips forward, and then with my free arm, I'm coming up past the head and over behind the broomstick. And I can even use this broomstick to pull back and keep that shoulder open. And let's move to the other side. So finding your split kneel, broomstick on the same side as the front leg. Pelvic tilt backwards, bring the hips forward, free arm overhead as you side flex behind that stick. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. This is long forward fold. And we're really going to lengthen the posterior chain with a particular emphasis on the hamstrings. So let's just stand with feet hip width apart. Allow the knees to soften so that as I fold forward, instead of aiming for the toes, I'm going to aim about 20 to 30 centimeters in front of the toes. And then I want to keep the weight of my hips behind my feet. So my hips are pulling me this way, but my fingertips are gripping the floor so I can keep the spine long and a little less flexed than if I was aiming for the toes. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. This is seated good morning with thoracic rotation. So particularly focusing on spinal rotation, but as well a little bit of hip range of motion and shoulder range of motion. So to begin, I'm going to use a seat, anything that you can sit on that's nice and sturdy. We'll take the feet a little bit wider than hips, and I'm going to take my right hand and grip the opposite ankle. From there, I'm going to rotate open with my free arm, and I can use that grip for a bit of leverage at the end of my range of motion. So folding forward, take a good grip, rotate open, then as you close you can sweep across the body. Changing sides, left hand grips the right ankle, right arm rotates open. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. This is the back extension with hold. We're targeting the muscles of the back, particularly the lower back, and bringing plenty of engagement to that area and really providing some stability. So for this exercise, we'll be laying face down. We're going to do 10 reps, and then at the end, we're going to do a hold for about 20 to 30 seconds. So, coming down to lay face down. Hands underneath the shoulders and elbows tucked in, but the hands are off the floor. Let's lift the chest and face off the floor as high as those back muscles will allow. So, after 10, we're going to bring the feet together, bend the knees slightly, and lift to the top of our back extension. We're going to hold there for about 20 seconds. Squeezing the ankles together, squeeze the knees together, elbows tucked in, chest is high. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's all for today's session. Hope your body appreciates moving with us. Let's do it again soon. Before you leave, let's wrap up with 30 seconds of conscious breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.